All right. So welcome. Um, Thank you, Cassie, for joining me this morning and going through just a couple of questions, a recap. I know we worked together for a while, a little over a year, I think,
Yeah.
maybe a little longer, 15 months or something, I think it was actually. And so thank you for sitting down with me and just kind of doing a recap and helping other people, remembering your journey, but also helping me grow. So thank you for joining me this morning.
Of course, I'm happy to do that.
So tell me a little bit, and I know your husband can't be here with us this morning, so um, I don't want you necessarily speaking for him, but talk to me a little bit about certainly where you were, and maybe both of you were emotionally when we first met.
Emotionally, we were a wreck. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know where we were going to be going or what we were doing, really. We were really just on a whim, kind of figuring out day to day and hoping that we didn't lose everything when we were figuring all of that out.
Mm.
And I know for him too, it was a lot. Emotionally, it was just so overwhelming, and he really couldn't do it all on his own. And I knew we needed help.
Mhm. Well, you guys had gone through a lot of bigger life changes, right? And
Yeah.
I won't go through all the details, but you guys had just moved and bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there was a job change, a job layoff that happened not really not too long after that, right? And so um, three kids that you're supporting and the two of you, and just bought your home, first home, right?
Yeah, first home, and it was a huge shock emotionally. I guess I could say that. Going from a small little house paying $750 a month, and then buying a house, and then going from $750 a month to $1827, I think it was. That's a huge deal. And then trying to incorporate regular bills with all of that, and then car payments on top of all of that. And then he, like you said, got laid off when COVID started. And so that really spiraled quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I was going to kind of ask you about your fears, but you kind of went over some of those, right? I mean, just how are we getting through this? It was, you know, and I think sometimes I certainly did this a couple of times, quite honestly, where, I think buying my home, right? And living in my own home, thinking, you know what, this is going to be great. We've got the money, it's going to be fine, right? And although it was fine, it was tight. And
Mhm.
all it took, we experienced something very, very similar when we moved into our home in 2010. Very similar, right? Thinking, okay, we can do this. And then a lot of things happen and it kind of knocks you on your rear.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, it does. Hard.
Yeah. Right. Right. Um,
You always think, "Well, it's gonna be okay," but it's never okay, really.
right. Well, and it's just trying to navigate, like learning all of this, like how are we going to get through this? We thought we were doing okay. Now we've got a major thing that just happened. So how are we going to make it work, right? And
Yeah.
I believe, I told you guys this, I've experienced it. You do the best that you can with what you've got, right?
Mhm.
You do the best that you can, and um um and it gets us through. But
Yeah.
sometimes it puts us in another difficult situation.
Mhm.
Um, Now, so we were neighbors. That's actually how we met.
Yeah.
um, Sorry, these allergies have really got me this morning, and I was hoping to not do this on camera, but and we were just talking, and then we decided that we were going to start working together.
Hmm.
What were you hoping in the beginning? What were you hoping to get out of coaching?
That we would be able to go back to being financially stable. And that, we had the guidance because we never had that growing up. We never had the financial stability. And I was really hoping that we would be able to move forward and start showing our kids how to be, financially stable, and um, really learn and go into great detail about how we can become financially stable and the steps that we would take to do that, and not have to ever fall back into that spiral and that habit of, oh, it's okay, it's only this or that or this. And going forward, we were really wanting to be able to do what we never were taught, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how important just, recognizing that there were some areas that you weren't taught, that you wanted to learn, right? So reaching out and learning, and again, that allows you to teach your kids, right? So it's kind of, I've shared with you guys, but I see it every day, these generational traumas is what I call them, these cycles that happen generation after generation after generation. And I saw a thing not too long ago actually that said, it ran in the family until it ran into me. And I thought,
Mm-hmm.
how powerful, right? Because each of us has the ability to put a stop to some of those things, right? We learn what our parents did, and we can choose to follow. We oftentimes follow a lot in those footsteps, and we also look and
Mm-hmm.
say, you know what? I will never do that. And so we make maybe some radical changes too, but not having that plan and not really having the knowledge to make those changes. Sometimes I think it can be done just a little bit easier, right? I always say that there's lessons that we can learn, but maybe there's some lessons that we don't need to learn, that we don't necessarily need to learn. So walk me through them, right? Help me to get through them so I don't have to experience maybe what somebody else did.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So after working together, I don't remember exactly. I put down 18 months. I don't know if it was that long. Maybe it was, we'll just say 15 to 18, something like that. Um, where are you guys emotionally now? Because I know, there's a lot more things that have happened, right? And so where are you at emotionally now?
Emotionally, we are ecstatic about what the future brings.
Mm,
Um, we took what we learned from you, and we made it to where we're doing budgets now every time we get paid.
mm,
um, I got a job. I got a good job. I'm excited about every day. And I knew the last time we spoke that I needed to get a job. And
mm,
so I got everything figured out. I got a job. So emotionally, we are just amazing.
wow. Wow. Um, I'm I'm happy to hear this because I know that sometimes we hear these stories, right? We hear these stories of people that um grand stories, and I've had clients that, have got some really grand stories, and everybody does in their own way, but I think, we hear all these things like, hey, I paid off $100,000 worth of debt in 2 months, and all these things, right? And I've been very open that, really my husband and I, our journey was 12 years, right?
Mhm.
Like this isn't a, and so I know you guys still working on some debt, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. You've paid off a ton.
Mhm.
Um, and you've had a lot of other things happen, and you don't need to go into a lot of detail with that, but would you mind, Cassie, just sharing some of the ups and downs that you've had, because I know that there's been quite a few, right? And this process isn't always just this climb in the mountain and there's nothing, right? It's
Up and
a roller coaster ride for some of us, right?
I don't mind. We were so far in debt. We were behind on so many bills. we were getting, shut off notices, and um, the mortgage was coming around again. Um, and we would get up and then we'd go down, and then we'd go back up again, and then we'd go back down. And so, like you said, it's a roller coaster, but we were able to pay a lot off, and we're close to paying my car off now.
Wow.
Yeah, we're down to, I think, like 3,000 left on my car. And when we last spoke, it was like 10 grand. So now, we're like getting to that point where that is going to be mine. I'm going to own it. I am so excited about it. So then
Wow.
once that's paid off, we're going to work on the pickup payment and get that down. And so we've used that snowball, where you start with we went with the smallest bill and we worked up. And after we got all of the bills caught up, we were able to start the car, and that right now, as of now, is the biggest payment we have, other than the pickup payment and the house.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just, and we stuck with the snowball effect. That's that
So
we've learned.
you guys, in the midst of all of this, and I think this is important to mention, so in the midst of job loss, several transitions with employment, right? Dare I say, I don't like to bring this up a lot, but COVID changed, things were shut down, schools, you had your kids at home, right? So it was just navigating a whole different way of life and learning a bunch. And so I'm just doing some quick math, and I'm just going to throw out, you guys are close to, you've got to be pretty darn close to about $20,000 of debt paid off, isn't it pretty close to that?
Close to that. It's like 19 something. So yeah.
Wow.
Yep, we got the air conditioner paid off.
That's so incredible. That is so incredible. Because I think, again, this goes back, things happen. You had to get a new refrigerator, right? Like things happen around our homes. That again, just normal life. And this is why I love your guys' story. And this is why it's powerful. Your story is powerful, and the things that you guys have been able to overcome and to work through, is nothing short of amazing, and it's not always the numbers, we focus, although really I'm almost $20,000 in 2 years. Incredible. I mean, that's incredible. So I'm not downplaying that at all. That's amazing. But it's a lot of the other things combined, that you have had to work through without going further into debt.
Yep. Yeah. Like you said, the multiple job changes, and me being at home, I realized, I love to be at home with the kids. I really did. But it's not going to help pay all of this off. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay to stay at home with the kids. So,
Right.
doing that, we were like, we got a game plan going, we got a budget going that we stick to. And our biggest goal is to just get the car paid off as quickly as possible. And that is exactly what we're working towards now. We got like I said, the air conditioner paid off. We were working on the car, and now it's like we're so excited for the future. We're not falling back into those habits that we did when we were working together.
Right.
We always make sure that our 5 walls are covered. And we took that huge from you. We always make sure that we got those walls covered, and that everything else we work towards.
Wow. And this is going to be maybe a little selfish plug here, but was coaching worth it?
It was 110%, because I feel like we lived in our own little bubble and we didn't want to come out of that bubble. We really didn't. It was a struggle. But I feel like working with you, or like, just going into coaching period, I feel like it really helped us to realize that we needed help. and we needed help really bad.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to live in the past a lot, and I think that's because we felt so much comfortable back then. We were so much more financially stable, and we were able to, just go out and do things with the kids or go on dates and stuff like that. And then we kept saying, okay, we need to go back to that. We need to go back to that. But in reality, we would never go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
There would have been no way possible that we would have been able to go back to that part of our life. And
Sure.
so coaching, that made us realize we needed to pop our bubble and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a huge shock.
What would you, what do you wish would have been a little bit differently with coaching? Would you have liked to have learned something that we didn't go over? Are there things that we did that you didn't necessarily like? And it's okay to be open, it's not going to hurt any feelings. But again, it helps me, but maybe it helps other people too, right? And so what would you have changed about how we worked together?
On our end, I wish we would have listened sooner and wouldn't have been like, well, we could do this. We could do this on our own. And
Mm.
I wish we would have stuck harder with the budgets. Because after we stopped coaching, we realized, like, holy cow, this is something that we really actually need.
Mm.
I did not like the money tracker. That thing I could not do to save my life. I would remember to
Mm.
write it down when I got paid. But then after that, it's just like a whole downward spiral of this goes here, this goes there. And then I'm sitting there thinking, well, crap, where did I spend this at?
Mm-hmm.
That to me, I really did not like. But like the budget, the calendars, I love those.
Mm-hmm.
And that I feel like is a huge part of coaching and a huge part of realizing, hey, if you don't stick to this budget, what are you doing? Like, why are we even doing this really?
Right. Right. What fears do you have going forward?
Um, my biggest fear is getting comfortable again.
Mm.
Uh, to where, oh, it's okay, it's just this, and we'll get paid next week, or oh, it's fine, we'll get paid again this week, or that is my biggest fear, is getting
Mm-hmm.
in comfort where we were when we first started coaching with you.
Sure. And how will you, so if that happens to start coming back again, right? How will you know that you're starting to get comfortable again? And then what can you do to create something different, right? So if that were to happen, can you share with me right now, like what it might look like to have those feelings start creeping in, and how you'll know, like, oh, no, we're kind of falling back into this. So we need to reevaluate.
Um, Getting comfortable with not paying, like not being able to pay the bills really. Pushing the bills off, I guess I should say.
Mm.
Um, oh, we'll just pay it next week, or oh, we'll just pay it next week. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like, oh, it's just the electricity. It'll be okay. We'll just push it and keep pushing it until there's no more pushing.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And to stop that immediately is just to set reminders, write it on the calendar. Hey, look, you got this bill getting ready to be due, and setting aside that money for that bill. And a huge thing that I do and I like doing is I like to now pull cash out, put all of the bills in the cash envelope, and when the bills come up, I pay them.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that, because I know that took you guys maybe a while to get used to, right? And to feel okay with giving it a go.
Yeah, it took a while, but now I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy having my bills envelope um, that I work for, and I know we were going to start incorporating clothes and like groceries and stuff like that
Mhm.
into those. And I think we feel more comfortable now being able to do that.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
I don't know why, but I feel like it's more we're comfortable being able to pull out that money and be like, okay, this is nice. This is real money.
Sure, sure. Cassie, do you mind me asking, do you and Zach communicate differently? I don't want to say better. Maybe it's better, but do you guys communicate differently now than you did before?
We do.
Mhm.
Um, we are on the same page with budgeting now. I know it was a huge struggle to get us on the same page with that.
Mhm.
But we are on the same page with that now. We're on the same page. We communicate better when it comes to bills. Um, and it's not like a last minute thing like it used to be. It's okay,
Mm.
look, the beginning of the month, this is what we got. This is what we're gonna have. This is what's gonna be due. So we
Mhm.
incorporate paydays with that, and we work together so much better.
Mm. It's awesome. Um, what are you looking forward to in the future?
Being debt free. But honestly, I'm looking forward to just having the house payment.
Mm.
Honestly, and that's really what we're working so hard for is
Mhm.
to have the house payment and that's it. And of course we're gonna have our regular bills, but we both agreed that we are never gonna let this happen again. And that we're gonna stick to our budget. And I'm excited for budgets every month now. I
Mm.
look forward to a new month coming. And I used to hate it. I used to hate it.
Why is being debt free? Why is that important? What will that, I'll just leave it there. Why is that important to you?
Um, because then we can show the kids, um, being able to save money. Showing the kids, that's our biggest thing, is showing the kids how to be able to save money and how to be okay. And even when you don't feel like you're okay, you're still gonna be okay. And getting their college funds started and being
Mm.
able to go on trips with the kids and being able to um take them places, and if they want to go to like the water park or something, getting them, being able to do that. And that, I feel like, is why we want to be debt free so bad, is mainly
Mhm.
for the kids, to show them that it is possible. It is possible to go from nothing to not being financially stable to having everything, and being able to be like, okay, you guys want to go do this, or hey, you guys want to go do this, or hey, look, we took 2 weeks off, let's go fishing. you
Mm.
know
Mhm.
being able to say that, hey, we can afford to do that, that is a huge thing that we're both working towards now.
Sure. And really, you have, all of us do, an opportunity every day to really be building our legacy,
Hmm.
right? That your legacy doesn't happen just when you die.
No.
It's what you're building. You have an opportunity. Each of us is building it every single day.
Hmm.
And I think, what I try and hit home with a lot of the people that I work with, because, this has become more of an issue and more of the forefront for me too, right? Recognizing that I want to I want to be showing my kids, not just teaching them, right? It's more than, do as I say, not as I do. It's really do as I do, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but showing them that we can be in a situation that we don't like, and we
Hmm.
can make changes.
Yep.
And there are consequences isn't only bad, right? That every
Hmm.
decision, every choice that we make has a consequence, both positive and negative, right? And so what does that look like for us, and what can we choose to do today that our future self is going to be happy about? And
Hmm.
how really important that is, that nobody ever taught me that. Nobody ever shared that with me when I was younger, right? And
Hmm.
going through some hard times. It was more like, what today,
Yeah.
right? I
Yep.
wasn't thinking necessarily about the future.
Yeah.
Um,
And I know that was a huge one for us too. We promised each other, and we made a promise to the kids that we were not going to let history repeat itself.
Mm,
uh, about his parents and mine, and you
mhm,
know we told ourselves we are not going to do that. We are not going to do that
mhm,
again. We are not going to go back to where we were when me and you got you guys you met us.
mhm.
We were never going to go back to that. We were never going
Wow.
to be in that same situation, um to the point where we were on the verge of losing everything.
Mhm,
And now, looking back, we were not excited about the future.
mm,
We we were we were scared. We didn't know if we were going to be able to stay where we are. And now we're excited about the future. We're excited
mhm.
about what tomorrow's going to bring. And we're excited about just being able to say that we did it necessarily,
Wow.
and to be able to show our kids and have our kids be proud of us, and not
Mhm.
letting history repeat itself, and that's it, that scenario. And just that's our main goal, is just to
Wow.
have the kids say, wow, thank you, when they're older, and we're old in a nursing home, and they're like, mom and dad, we really thank you for being tightwads, because that taught us a lot. you know I
Right.
believe that's the goal, is to be able to
Mhm,
show the kids that you can have money and you can have everything, but at the same time you can also lose everything. Um,
mhm,
so it's the future is so unpredictable, but as long as you look forward to it and you stay positive about it, I feel
mhm.
like, you can conquer anything. I mean, you've seen that with us. We've conquered so much.
Right, right. And and that's just it. It's a decision every day, right? It's that
Mhm,
commitment every day that this is what we set out to do. And you can still live life and still get debt paid off. You can still,
mhm,
but we have to make choices, right? What is more important to us right now, right? What are we working towards? And sure, and and even Cassie, I think I've even made some adjustments in, coaching, quite honestly, and doing things maybe a little bit differently, right? Than even when we were working together, because it's been a little while since we worked together. Um, Not long, but a little while. And even, then just some adjustments that have been made, recognizing that people can I do not believe in the rice and beans only diet, right? I believe that we can live and we can have a good life and we can do some of the things that we want to do, but we can also work on paying our debt off. We can also get really good at writing a budget, right? We can also really learn to recognize what's really important to us and what choices we in fact do have, because sometimes we fall into this, that the bills, and that's what a lot of times debt does to us. It takes away our choice. um
mhm.
and it feels like it takes away a little bit of our freedom too.
Oh yeah.
um but just recognizing that, um if we plan for things, we can do them.
Mhm,
And it's just a matter of putting into that plan what's important to us.
mhm.
And um I'm really excited for you guys. It's been, and I love your story again, because it's not this, hey, we started in all these amazing things, right? There was a lot of, and it's good because it's real life. This is what real people, real humans go through that we
Mhm.
don't see, right? And I'm not into this, just post only the highlight reels of things. Like, let's talk about what real life looks like and how
Yeah.
people are working through them. And you guys have done a really great job, and certainly hasn't been easy. Certainly
No,
has not been easy.
no,
But I hope it's been worth it.
it
um
has been, 110%. It has been worth it. From step one, realizing and basically being slapped in the face with, hey, look at this. Look at what you guys have basically created.
yeah.
To going through all of the motions and the emotional part of it, and the ups and downs of that, and the little successes that we did. And just celebrating the little things and, working on the bigger things. And I feel like it was so much worth it. And if I had
Wow.
to do it again, I would, but I prefer not to. Because I don't want to be
Right.
back in that place of, thinking about, well, what are we going to do with the kids? What are we going to feed the kids really? Where are we going to be? Are we going
Right.
to be living in a car? Are we going to have to be living with somebody else? Like, we didn't want to do that. And so
Mm-hmm.
working with you really opened our eyes that we were following our parents' footsteps. We really
Mm-hmm.
were. We were letting history start to repeat itself. And working with you, I feel like you really stopped that. You were like, no,
Wow.
guys, nope, you're not going down this way. You're going to go this way. And you really steered us into the right lane, the right place that we need to be, and to be able to be financially stable and successful, and
Mm-hmm.
finding a career instead of just a regular job. We both found something that we love doing, and
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like having you in the back of my head, like, is this going to be something that you're going to want to keep doing, or is it going to be
Mm-hmm.
something that it's just going to be there for the time being until something else happens?
Right.
And so I always keep you in the back of my mind, especially if I'm gonna make like a stupid purchase. I have Sarah in the back of my mind. Do you really need that right now? Like, is it necessary? And 9 times out of 10, it's really not. And I end up just not doing it. And then I'm like, thanks, Sarah.
Oh shoot. Well, that's I mean, it's funny, but sometimes, and Cassie, I've told you guys, I use my own coaches too, right? I work with
Mhm.
coaches and because I know the power of it and I know that it's sometimes it's not it's the insights that I take away, and just like that, having them kind of in the back of my mind, knowing that somebody's on your side, that somebody really is there to not to judge the situation, but just to encourage me to make the decisions that are right for me. Right.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I find that that's really important. And so I'm laughing about, kind of me being in the back of your mind, right? Because my own coaches are in the back of my mind, telling me, and we're debt free, but it doesn't mean there aren't hard choices to make. It doesn't mean that we're not still building our legacy. It doesn't mean that we're in a new season of life, a place that we've never been before. And we
Hmm.
have blind spots, and so I think, that's important to mention that I don't believe there's ever a time that working with somebody isn't going to be beneficial, right? We don't have to be just in a crisis mode. It can be any season of life that it can be beneficial. And in every season, it's going to be it's a new season, right? And there's going to be these new things lurking in the back of our mind, right? So it might not be hey, is this purchase, is this really important to you right now? But maybe
Yeah.
it's like, hey, have you updated your will lately?
Mhm.
Have you, have you had the conversation with your kids? So many things, right? So many things that change and as we go forward. But um, Cassie, I just want to say, thank you. It was really great watching you and Zach and watching being part of your story and your journey, and seeing all the amazing challenges that you guys overcame and that you've pushed through. And you know what? There's going to be challenges in the future, and I have no doubt that you're going to be able to navigate them right in a way that is positive.
Yeah.
And so thank you for taking time to chat with me today and to share your story and to I know this is going to provide hope for a lot of other people out there and just normalizing the conversation. None of
Yeah.
us are alone in this, right? We're all
Yeah.
going through some
Exactly.
things.
And that was a
And you're
huge thing for us, was knowing that we weren't alone, because we
mhm,
felt really alone.
mm,
And working with you showed us that we weren't alone. You went through things. Everybody does truly go through things that, but it's their own way of going through things. And, everybody's situation is different,
Mhm.
but having that hope and having that, just that little bit of somebody else having faith in you being able to complete your journey and be successful, and just having somebody in the stands cheering for you is
Mm,
such a huge thing too. And I feel like that is really what helped us push through so much, is we had you there. We had you in our corner, and you
mhm,
kept reminding us, "Hey guys, it's not over. You're building a legacy, and you're building it for your kids, and you're building your empire really, and
mhm,
it's not complete yet." And you had so much faith in us, and
mhm,
you kept reminding us, you're not alone. You really are.
mhm.
That was just the biggest thing.
Awesome. I want to make one correction there though. Um, that you just said, it's not had, it's have.
Have.
Because
Yep.
even though, and we are not working together, side by side like we were before, things have transitioned, but I am always here. Should anything, should you guys need help navigating anything, right?
Yeah.
I send text messages every now and again, checking in, try to, keep, not to keep tabs, but just to let you know that I'm here, and it's not a matter of, being in a, commitment working together month to month, right? But it's really that I'm here for you no matter what. And so I don't want you guys to forget that either, that should anything come up and you want help navigating and to talk through something, I'm still here for you. So it's not had, it's have. All
Yeah.
right. Awesome. Cassie, thank you again for taking time um, to chat with me. I appreciate it. Your story is pretty darn incredible, and I know it's going to help a lot of people. So thank you for being open enough to share it with me today.
Of course, anything that I can do to help other people, and sharing my story is just something that I'm so excited to do, and I hope it really does help a lot of people.
It will. It will. So thank you very much.
Thank you.